What stood out about the way Sam handled the game when you looked at the film?
I'm sorry, say again.
I'm sorry, what stood out about the way Sam handled the game when you went back and looked at the film?
Sam did for a true freshman who was sitting in a high school class in December and now had to face an SEC defense on opening day. I mean, I think we're all pretty happy with his overall performance. Tried to protect him early, give him some short, simple, quick throws, get him into a rhythm. I thought we established a running game, which we really needed to do to help him. I think that'll be a theme every week. You know, you want to get those three guys the football and then get them going. And I think that helps a younger quarterback, and we were able to do that in the first half. We're a little bit more conservative than I'm used to being because, you know, we wanted to make sure we came away with points. We had a couple opportunities in the red zone with Sam and the offense to maybe take a shot. And, you know, there was a run option and a pass option on the play, and we chose the run option when maybe we could have thrown one or two of them. But at halftime, he seemed comfortable, and he seemed confident, and he was healthy. And so, you know, we were able to open it up a little bit. And as I said to some of the media, you know, the day before the game, we really don't want to treat him like a freshman quarterback, but I still was going to go into the game and protect him early and get him into a rhythm. And I thought we let him loose a little bit in the second half, and, you know, it helped us win the ballgame.
Do you expect to let him loose going forward, or?
Yeah, I think we're kind of over that now. I mean, I think the first game of your career, butterflies are gone, and he's our quarterback, and he's going to run the offense, and we're going to run it the way we do with any veteran. I think from a knowledge standpoint, he's not a freshman, so that's the good thing. But getting used to the speed of the game and the bullets flying and what it's really like in a game as opposed to what we tried to do in practice are two different things. And so we got him through that, and I think that's over. So and we're going to need to open it up here to do a good job against Miami.
Max said that you guys are going to have to teach him to get down more, maybe to run out slide a little bit more.
There's no doubt.
With some of the hits that he took. Is that kind of difficult to do with a guy who's played his whole life another way to sort of change that element of his game?
Well, I mean, if Sam were on defense, he'd be a middle linebacker. Okay, I mean, that's his mentality. If he were a defensive player, he'd be a middle linebacker. And he's physical, and he's used to running people over in high school, and he's used to getting the extra yard, and he's a competitor. But there's health management in the game with a quarterback, and you want to live the play, another play. So as the game went on, I don't know if you noticed, but he slid a few more times, and I think he kind of learned that lesson as well. And it'll be something that we keep preaching. I think with Sam, ball security is his #1 focus this week. Sliding, getting down after we've gotten a productive play, whether it's him in a design run or a scramble. And just continuing to make good decisions in the offense. That's probably what's on the agenda for him next 4 or 5 days getting ready for Miami.
There's a large discrepancy for him versus being under pressure and not under pressure. How much of that is a true freshman thing, and then how can you work on that with him?
Well, there was some legitimate pressure on Saturday, which he actually handled well. I mean, we scrambled and moved and made some plays under what I would call legitimate pressure. He did a good job. You know, I think we gave up 2 or 3 sacks. One of them was Sam's fault. But on the other end of it, he handled pressure well and made some plays on the move. We moved maybe a little bit too much when there wasn't legitimate pressure. You know, we get a little bit of flash of color, or we stepped up too much into some pass rush when maybe it was a healthy pocket. So, you know, we'll work at keeping him at the top of the drop so that we can get to the next look in the pass progression. I think those are just typical things you're going to get, you know, out of a really competitive freshman.
Phil, were you happy with the tempo the offense played with, or do you want it to go a little bit, speed up a little bit more?
No, I was. I mean, when you go back and watch the film, you can only go as fast as the officials go. You know, and so coaches are constantly trying to find a way to go faster, but you're never going to be able to go faster than the 9 to 11 seconds on average that an official's crew takes to get the ball back in place. And we snapped the ball after he left on numerous occasions, probably more than half the plays. So I was happy with it, and sometimes there are plays where we don't want to snap it as fast because we have to ID something or make a change, or Just wait until the defense is lined up. There's certain plays you run, you don't want them all over the place. You need to know where they are so you can get them blocked or you can throw off them or whatnot. So there are certain things that we run that we want to run as quickly as we can, and there are others where we need to see a little bit more of a picture.
Phil, with a true freshman quarterback, I think all of us expected South Carolina to come to that game Saturday, try to take away the run first, make him beat you. Yet you guys were very effective running the ball. Kind of what was the key to that?
Well, they did do that. They brought a 7th and an 8th defender at times to try to stop the run game. I think we made no secret about liking the fact that we had 3 good running backs, and all 3 of them did very well on Saturday. I think I would attribute it more to Sam made some really good throws off the run game. The offensive line did a heck of a job blocking up front. We controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part. That gave us, when you control the line of scrimmage, it gives the running backs an opportunity to beat the line of scrimmage. Pass by it, And so when you beat the line of scrimmage, it becomes more about the talent that we have in that position. And typically, if you meet Michael Carter at 4 yards, he's going to get 5 or 6. And I think that holds true for all 3 of them. So when you win the line of scrimmage and you can get your RBs down the field a little bit, that's where you get some of the prolific run plays that we got, and I attribute that to the offensive line.
Michael
You
said,
had three offensive linemen making their first career starts. You had Nick Polina playing
Yes.
basically at a new position. For them to play that well, was that surprising at all to you?
Well, if you talk to our staff and Coach Brown, I don't know how well we think we played. We made a lot of mistakes. To be able to persevere and keep competing and have the grit in the 4th quarter to go ahead and win the game after making the mistakes that we made tells you a lot about the character of your football team and the fortitude of your football team. So that bodes well for us because the mistakes that we make can get corrected. Those things can be fixed. We can't make them 6'5", we can't make them 350 pounds, you know what I mean? We can't make them more athletic than they are, but schematically we can take care of those issues, and we're going to have to if we want to succeed at Miami. That's going to be a must for us, is to clean up some of the MAs.
Michael said Saturday that you guys have been preaching not to fall down when they get tackled with a period, but with an exclamation mark. Is that something that you had to coach with this group to understand what that exclamation mark is? I think you just alluded to it. You meet Michael at 4 yards, he gets 5 or 6.
So you're asking us about in practice?
Michael
Not
said
going
that you guys have coached the running backs, that when they
Yeah.
get tackled, to fall down not with a period, but with an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just his terminology
It
for
is.
it. Okay, that's not surprising, though, Michael. But is that what you saw? Is that something that you guys had to coach, that extra bit? So you said he gets met at 5 yards, but he gets 4
Well, I
yards,
think
5 or
as a coach, you
6.
challenge running backs too. You don't want to be the running back that when you block for 4, you get 4.
Yeah.
If the O-line blocks for 3, you get 3. That's not what we're recruiting, and that's really not what we have here. So you want a crew of running backs that if you block the play up for 3 yards, they're going to get 4 or 5, and every now and then they're going to make you miss it. It's going to become an explosive run, and I think we are blessed right now with Antonio Williams, Javonte Williams, and Michael Carter. And we've got 2 young ones there too behind them, but those 3 are really talented. We've got to continue to do a good job getting them the ball, and I think at the point of attack Saturday, the running backs graded out really well with regards to staying up on their feet and having good balance and warding off tackles and creating yardage beyond the point of attack with the defense.
Phil, have you had many 90-yard plus scoring drives in games over the years? And looking back on those 2 drives, what points did you take away from why they worked, and what was?
We talked about us making a lot of mistakes, and that keeps you from being consistent. But we did. We had a 95 and a 98-yard drive. We overcame a couple of mistakes on those drives, but those were 2 of the more consistent drives that we had. They were drives where we had fewer and fewer plays during those 2 drives, where we had a good amount of mistakes. And so when we've got 11 people focused and they're talented like I think we are. I don't know if we're going to be more talented than everybody we play, but 11 smart guys sometimes makes up for a lot of ground, and those are the 2 most consistent drives we had in the game. To answer your question, we looked at last year, we had 4 drives of over 90 yards the entire season. Saturday we had 2. And then part of those 2 drives, we had some explosive plays on both those drives. Sam dropped some dimes, we made some good catches, we had some explosive runs. That helps you track the 90 yards. So, hopefully that continues, and I think those 2 drives are 2 the offense is proud of, and it just shows them what they're capable of doing when we play smart football.
Is that
The
accuracy?
receivers made some competitive catches, that's got to.
They did, you know, Coach Brown brought up the fact that over his 5 years of commentating, just about every coach has made the comment we have to catch the 50-50 ball. And we didn't really get a shot at making too many of those throws in the first half. We did open it up in the second half. We made some of those throws in the second half. I think we probably were right around 50-50 on the deep stuff, 2 of them being the touchdowns that we scored. And so obviously those are a big part of those 2 drives we were talking about.
Is that action on the deep ball something you saw early on from Sam? We haven't seen kind of accuracy here at Chapel in a couple of years. So.
His accuracy is on the deep balls is pretty good. You know, the fade ball was excellent on Saturday. We tried to get a post off down the middle of the field. They did a good job of covering it, and we had to go to something underneath. You know, it was nice to see the young receivers. They kind of gelled a little bit, and I thought they picked up some momentum, and we ran some better routes in the second half, and they gave some better targets to Sam. He's done a nice job. I think he's very accurate deep ball. I think he's an accurate intermediate guy. Early in camp, he was not an accurate automatic throw guy. You know, he was struggling with what I call the automatics, the easy stuff, though. But that's a tribute to him. I mean, took care of his footwork, and we had no problems in August camp and no problems on Saturday with the automatic stuff.
What's your criteria on explosive plays?
What's the what?
What's your criteria on explosive play? What do you constitute an explosive play?
Run over 10 and a pass over 20. That's how we characterize explosive plays in those 2 aspects.
Were you okay with the throw that Sam made when he avoided the sack, rolled out, and I'm not sure how the ball got through, but
No.
what was your reaction when you saw that one on film in particular?
I held my breath on that one. Yeah, it's. I think he would probably not make that one again, but I think you go into any game and you're going to find a play like that on both sides of the ball that wind up going your way. And, I credit Daz, his great focus on the ball to catch that through, the screening of the defensive player that really had a good shot at it. And Sam has made plays on his feet. He doesn't practice. He did it all camp, and a couple of those plays were big plays on Saturday.
How much has Matt coached the coaching staff as far as positivity and body language and all that kind of thing?
Every minute of every day. And it's just, the easy thing about it is 100% sincere. You know that when he says something, he means it, and then when he wants something in the building, whether it's culture, atmosphere, or verbiage, or there's a reason behind it. Even when you don't understand what he wants or why he's doing something that he does, you wait 2-3 days, you wait a week, maybe you wait till the end of camp, and after a while, you start to realize he has a plan for everything. And so, me personally, I just stopped questioning. Not that I question anything, but you just stop. You just have total confidence in what he gives you and what he wants you to do and what he tells you. And he's definitely the energy in our building.
Phil, Mac talked about you being more comfortable coaching on the sidelines. Obviously, you're on the sidelines. Why is that? Why has that always been your preference?
If in this day and age particularly, but I've always felt more comfortable. I think you have to have a really good relationship with your quarterback when you're calling plays. And I think part of that relationship is the communication that you have on game day. Also, I think the longer you coach, the more you're really able to see from experience on the sideline. I don't know. Some people completely disagree. I've got great friends that do the same thing I do, and they would never leave the booth. You find a guy upstairs that can get you the information that you need. One guy for the offensive line coach and one guy for the skills. And I think as long as we have that, we feel comfortable being on the field. And I would rather be down there to communicate with the players and interact with them between drives. That's why I do it.
And then calling plays, I usually have like student assistants or GAs calling plays, and you were doing it. You and Coach Gillespie were letting the plays in. What's the purpose of that?
So Coach Gillespie and I signal everything. So when I want to make a call, it cuts out the middleman. I don't have to call down to somebody on a headset and give them a call, and then they make a signal. For me, if I'm in the middle of a signal or Gillespie's in the middle of the signal and we want to stop it, we can do it right there and cut it and give them another call. And it just cuts out the middleman. It makes it faster, and the communication is coming right from the play caller, and I think that just makes it easier.
Was there any issues with signaling at one time, communication-wise?
No, I mean, they've been doing this since the beginning of the spring, so that's not been an issue.
All right, gang. Make
Thank
the
you.
switch.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, have a good afternoon.
Thanks,
You
Phil.
too.
Appreciate it.